I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo.
A little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone.
Errol Spence Jr. has finally spoken out after joining Terence, Crawford's training camp ahead of the highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez. In his first comments since teaming up with his former rival, Spence praised Crawford's focus, work ethic, and mindset as he prepares for the biggest fight of his career. Their unexpected partnership has caught the attention of the boxing world, highlighting mutual respect and a shared determination to make history.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight. I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Spence Jr. has expressed his respect for Crawford ahead of the latter's blockbuster clash with Canelo Alvarez, describing him as a strong dude, reflecting on their 2023 bout, where he struggled with timing and absorbed heavy punishment. Spence used those words to capture Crawford's power in the ring. He also noted that Canelo once moved up in weight just as Crawford is now, a parallel that makes Spence believe Bud has a genuine chance to get the job done.
It could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
So recently, Errol Spence just backed Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez in the upcoming fight September the 13th. And now you got a whole lot of people making a whole lot of noise about it, which is crazy because if y'all remember, Errol Spence, he been calling out Canelo Alvarez for years. Remember when Canelo Alvarez was still at 160? Errol was saying that he'll move up to 160 just to fight Canelo Alvarez. I guess because he's seen something in Canelo that he can exploit. And being as though that Terence beat the shit out of Errol Spence last year, I guess he felt like he can do the same.
Terence Crawford is taking a massive gamble in pursuit of history, jumping up to weight divisions to challenge Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed super middleweight crown on September 13, 2025. About already being hailed as one of the biggest events in boxing. Yet despite the hype surrounding this monumental clash, Crawford has made it crystal clear that a rematch with Errol Spence Jr. is off the table, flatly rejecting the idea without hesitation.
Terence Bud Crawford is aiming for a Canelo Alvarez clash at 168 to become undisputed for a third time in a third weight division, something that has never been done. They're talking about Canelo Alvarez's 2 fights this year in May and September is going to be potentially versus Jamal Charlo and Terence Crawford in September on the back end. For Canelo, of course, we want to see him fight David Benavidez, David Morrell. Dig what I'm saying? But so I know, this might not be what y'all want to see from Canelo, but for Terence Crawford, I like the idea. It looks like Errol Spence is going to do other things as opposed to fighting Terence Crawford in a rematch. So Terence Crawford in the gym right now, getting ready, staying prepared. And I would like to see him challenge himself versus Canelo. He done did everything else in the sport. And I mean,
Bernard Hopkins reflected on the heavy punishment Crawford inflicted on Spence in their last encounter, describing it as the equivalent of 3 fights packed into one and claiming it took the toll of 4 fights from Spence's career. Drawing on his experience as a veteran, Hopkins stressed that such a beating can strip away years, or at least the prime years, from a boxer's career. While the effects might not be immediately visible, he warned that they can quietly erode a fighter's future potential.
Crawford. Billy Crawford, even though, fought twice, throughout the year, Crawford,
But look where he beat.
Undisputed.
Look where he beat. Look where he beat. What he did to Spence and how he did it. That's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? Yeah, I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few years out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person going forward. They still can beat some fights, but it really put a bruise on them. You didn't see Spence fight yet, did you?
No.
Did you hear him name opponent for him to potentially fight? It's been quiet.
Shocker, Stevenson pulls no punches in his prediction for this blockbuster clash, confidently stating that Crawford won't just beat Canelo, he might even stop him. Stevenson has long maintained that Crawford's sharp boxing IQ, slick movement, and knockout power give him the edge, and he's been outspoken about it for years. He's doubled down on his view, declaring that Bud's going to cook Canelo, hinting that a knockout is well within reach. For Stevenson, Crawford's technical brilliance and ability to adapt could transform what many see as impossible into a stunning upset victory.
I think Canelo a hell of a fighter. I think Bud just got on the tools.
You don't think the weight difference is going to be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so. No.
All right, we got a decision established because Raymond and Boozy think Bud actually might stop.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone and talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like I'm not saying that it's going to happen. But I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that.
Michael Jai White, the martial artist and actor best known for portraying Mike Tyson in HBO's biopic, is firmly siding with Crawford in the upcoming clash against Canelo. In a recent interview, White dismissed the notion of Canelo being the favorite, answering with a simple no. He likened the matchup to Mayweather's victory over Canelo, believing Crawford's speed and unorthodox style give him a clear advantage. Praising Crawford's agility and ring IQ, White predicted that, much like Mayweather, Crawford could outpoint Canelo, despite the Mexican star's growth and improvements over the years.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Yes.
Do you feel that Canelo's going to win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who was amazing. Canelo he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2. That's what I think. Crawford ain't going to knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's going to land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. All you need is that little bit of an edge, and I think Crawford has.
Former champion Antonio Tarver has weighed in with a bold take on the looming showdown, believing Crawford can defeat Canelo provided he can withstand the Mexican star's power at 168 pounds. Tarver acknowledges Crawford's elite boxing skills, but stresses that the real test will be absorbing the heavier punches that come with moving up in weight. If Crawford can handle that challenge, Tarver is confident his speed, ring intelligence, and pinpoint accuracy will give him the edge to score a major upset.
Terence gotta be Terence, bro. He's a real deep thinker. He processed fights like nobody else. And he's processed this Canelo fight. He's seen it. He went through it 2 or 3 times already. He knows how this ends. You can tell the way he shadow boxes. He visualizing Canelo being right there in front of him. You understand? Look at the movement. That's all you gotta do. do look at the movement. And that's the type of master boxer that Canelo is going to be facing. And the only thing I say is Canelo hasn't faced an opponent like this in a long time. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's going to have to go back to the Caleb Plant fight and look that good, that active, that, you feel me, moving with that type of grace to beat Terence Crawford. Because weight ain't going to make the difference. It ain't going to be the weight. It's going to be the...
Israel Madrimov, who fell to Crawford in 2024, offered a blunt assessment of Crawford's upcoming super middleweight clash with Canelo Alvarez. In his view, it's a very different weight class. Canelo will win, I think, by decision. Madrid sees size as the key factor, arguing that while Crawford possesses power, skill, and experience, the physical gap at 168 pounds tilts the advantage toward Canelo.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
Former world champion Amir Khan, having shared the ring with both men, confidently predicts an easy night for Crawford. He praises Bud's exceptional mix of skill, accuracy, footwork, boxing IQ, and slick style, emphasizing that Crawford is far more elusive and difficult to hit than Canelo ever was.